Anubis.
Anubis, thank you for being here.
Hello.
Hi, Anubis. Could you share a little about who you are for people who are not familiar with Egypt?
I'm the one in charge when people die and all the burials and all that. So I'm the one that will help them to cross to the other side. Burial preparations on earth before they go over to the afterlife.
Is it a big administration?
Well, yes. I guess humans like to connect to something physical. It's like when you see it, you believe it. You hear it, you might not. So, this was created for them to see and understand how precious your life is on earth. That's all. It is a ceremony to celebrate your life on earth.
Could you share a little? How was the ceremony conducted?
Well, many of you already know about mummification, so I don't think I need to go into details about that. While we remove all the organs, as you know as well, your human body would rot. It would smell. That would be highly unpleasant. And so we take out the organs that is important, right? Like the heart, the brain, the mind. And we keep them in jars, as some of you might know. Now, it is only a symbol. That is all. It is a reminder for me to share with you how precious, when you are on earth, your mind and your heart is very important to keep them in alignment. So the burial process after that, well, yes, keeping the body in the tomb. And that is it, to be in remembrance for the loved ones to remember. That is it.
Why is it important that the loved ones remember?
Well, if you have lived a happy life and you have touched many lives, then it is worth remembering, is it not? As I say, humans somehow like to remember when they can see something physically that is still there. But it's important not to be so attached though to the physical. But it was how it was in the past.
So, Anubis, do you guide them to the other side? And how do you do that?
When the soul leaves the body, then my job actually is more on the physical, what to do with the physical body. And it is passed on. So they are asked to leave the body and move on to the underworld or the other side. I don't do that part.
Who does that part?
Osiris. Osiris is the god in charge of the other side.
There is the story of how Osiris was chopped up and Isis went to find all the parts of him and you helped.
Yeah, that is that story. It is a story. Whether it's true or not now, Let's say human beings like to have stories. That is not important. We all have a role to play. So my role is to make sure the physical body, what is need to be done is done. And then I pass it on to Osiris to do the rest.
Right. How does Osiris do his work?
He will bring the souls, sometimes it's more than one, to the other side. He will ask them, actually, there's questions that he will ask. So, like, how did you find your life? Were you happy with your life that you lived? Things like that.
And what happens after they ask and answer the questions?
It's just to understand, that's all. And to record, that is all. We do not judge what they think is right or not right, or should not. But what is important is they cannot stay in the physical plane here. They have to go. So helping them or asking them questions is also allowing them to release whatever things that they might regret or want to hold on to in the physical world. So we need to make sure to encourage them, I would say, to let it go so that they can move on to the other side.
And what happens when they go to the other side?
Well, they can take a break or they can choose their next assignment or their next life.
Is it painful to leave the physical body?
No, it is not. It is a natural process.
Thank you, Anubis. Were you there as a physical being,
I was.
and now you're worshipped as a god?
It doesn't matter to me. I was there to do what I needed to be done at that time. I do not mean to be reverent as a god. That is not important. But what I do want to share with you is that love your life and enjoy it. Do not be attached to physical things because some souls find it hard to live because of that attachment to something physical. It could be a person or a thing. So that is my advice, because when it's time to go, it is time to go.
What about people choosing to leave before their time is up?
Yes, that does happen. But that is not advice, because they always regret that decision. But once the soul has left the body, it is difficult to get back in. Then they just have to move on to the other side.
Is there a predestined time that they can stay on Earth?
We do not advise them to stay. Once they have left their physical body, their light wants to move on and needs to move on because the energy in the earth plane is different. You are in a physical body that allows you to be grounded, to walk on earth. So being a soul bobbling about here on earth is not advisable. They will feel and sense loss because there is no form. We do not advise that.
What about if they choose to assign to be in Egypt at that time or on Earth? Is there a limit to the life? Is there such thing like we are only to live 10 years, 50 years, 60 years? Is there such kind of direction?
It is the choice that they made, how long they want to live, and also how well they have taken care of their human body. It is their choice. We do not decide that for them.
There's other questions from the students here about Egyptians wanting to immortalize their royalty. Were they different from the other humans?
No, they are also human. However, some of the royals have a deeper connection with the source and the gods, you can say. Just like all of you here, you all have a deeper connection as well. So, can I say you are also gods and goddesses in your own right?
I think so. Yeah, we all agree. Was there any human sacrifice in ancient Egypt?
There is no human sacrifice. We are all equal, and as I say, we treasure life that is given to us. That is what that is taught. You treasure your life. It is worth more than gold and silver. So whatever role that you do, just do your best. That is all.
When we were in Egypt, we were told that there was a very strict imperial system. Different classes. There were slaves from Africa, slaves from Greece. How does that happen when everybody is equal in Egypt?
Egypt started equal at the beginning. That was how it was meant to be. Now years and years passed and things began to change because humans like to control and be in control. And just by giving a little bit more control from one to another makes them think that they own the life of another. That is what has become of the last years of Egypt and its downfall. So yes, it did not start with that intention, but it did end that way with caste and hierarchy. Now, I would not say slaves means in your context, I don't know. But slaves does not mean we torture them. That is not our way. Perhaps they had to work harder for their food, to provide for their family. But we embrace anyone that comes to Egypt. We do not push anyone away.
There was the story of Moses and the Hebrews being killed and being hunted. Can you give us more insights to that? How real that story was? And
I'm not aware of that story.
that
We
was
do
in the
not
Bible.
hunt and kill. That is not our way. We are a civilization that embraces anyone that wishes to join and join this great country that we have built.
Could you tell us a bit more story of Moses when he was found by the princess?
As a child, as I say, when people come, no matter how big or small you are, we embrace you with love and acceptance. So that is it. And you earn your place as someone useful, or as a hero, or how you want to call it. You earn that. That's why I said everyone does their role to give their best. And then you will be placed accordingly, like how you do in your workplace. If you work hard, you can go upwards, right? That is how it became as such. It's not saying one is better than the other. It's just humans. Some would like to work harder, some less. But I do not judge that. All I judge and I care is when they pass on to the other side, that they are ready to go and they have felt they have lived the best life that they have had.
Could you give us some insights to why was the Red Sea parted?
The Red Sea story. It is to save lives, isn't it? As I say, we treasure life. Life is so precious. If we can save, we will save.
Why did Moses need to part the Red Sea?
They say to cross over to the other side.
But he was running away from being killed.
Yeah, so he needed to cross over the other side. And that was the only way through. So he was being helped.
I guess you don't want to answer who was trying to kill Moses?
No.
Thank you. Could you give us some insight to how was the pyramid built?
Just like how you would build buildings. Rock by rock. We had the technology to carry the rocks. There's a way, you know.
Can you share?
There is a way to pull the rocks. Because it is hard, it is difficult because of friction. So we damp the front part of the rock. So when it's soft, like wet, it becomes slippery. That's how we can build block by block. It takes a lot of people to build a pyramid, and a very, very long time.
It was massive engineering with a lot of accuracy.
Yes.
Was there a lot of scientists and engineers?
Yes.
Where did they get the technology from?
Why, we are very smart civilization. Do not look down on us.
Oh, we don't look down on you. We're just wondering if there were help from aliens. From Sirius or from Pleiades? Was there an extraterrestrial who came to support and help the Egypt civilization?
When you build a building today, do you ask the aliens?
No.
Yeah. So we know. We know what we need to do. We do not need to ask the aliens. But as you know, we are all connected to the source. Wisdom comes from the source. If you want wisdom to know how to build, you also have to learn. And so are the people. We had to learn and start from somewhere. So we learn over time how to build and become a great nation.
Thank you, Anubis. You have been very insightful and cleared a lot of doubt for many of us here in the class. Really grateful for you being so honest and candid with your answers.
You're welcome.